When it comes to attracting money in your life, more money, wealth, becoming rich, it's all about the beliefs. And a lot of the times people have negative beliefs when it comes to money. And I'm about to break down to you in this video what those negative beliefs about money are so that you can recognize it, so that you can stop doing this, so you can attract more money in your life. And when it comes to money, I know I've heard this growing up, and I know you have too. Money is the root of all evil. I know you've heard people say that. And as long as you think that money is evil and everything that's happening on this planet is from money, you'll never attract it, because you are attracting the bad energy of money. That's reflecting it off you. When you start to believe that you can achieve some great things, some very positive things with money in your life. When this wealth comes into my life, I'm going to donate to charity. I'm going to feed the poor. I'm going to help so many people when it comes to money. I'm going to be very generous, right? So you have to believe that you can do so many great things off money. And another thing is, people think that rich people are greedy. People think that rich people only care about the rich. You have a lot of rich people out there who do care. They genuinely care about people, right? But when it comes to the rules about money, you can't just be so flamboyant and spending it here and giving it to this. You can't be so generous. You have to create opportunities for people. You have to help people in that aspect, because you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink. You can only teach people how to get money, how to create wealth in their life, right? So you cannot think that rich people are greedy, because if you start giving away all your money, then you won't be rich anymore. You won't be able to do the great things that you are destined to do. So you can't believe that all rich people are greedy and that rich people are only for the rich. And another thing that's hindering you, or just people in general, from getting rich is thinking or saying, I'll never be rich. I'll never be wealthy. When God gives you a vision, when you can close your eyes and you can see yourself wealthy, you can see a wealthy version of yourself, God gave you that vision. And there is nothing stopping you from making that vision happen, to make that vision come true. The only thing that's stopping you is you, with the negative beliefs of money. You have to pursue that vision. You have to take that chance. You have to just take that leap of faith. You have to step out of your comfort zone and do whatever it takes for you to become wealthy, as long as it is in a positive way. You definitely don't want to hurt anybody. You don't want to take from anybody. You definitely want to be very, very positive and go down the positive road when it comes to becoming wealthy, because if you see it in that vision, then that means there is a wealthy version of you in the quantum field that you can align with and become wealthy. And all you have to do is take inspired action, use your intuition, and you'll know what to do next. You'll know what steps that you need to take to become that wealthy version that you see in your imagination. And another one is, and I've heard friends say this, I just recently heard a friend say this, is you have to work hard for money. As long as you believe that you have to work hard for money, this is a belief. Reality is only going to reflect that back into your life. You will always be put in circumstances where you will have to work hard, where you will have to do some back-breaking work to get money, or you have to work long hours to become wealthy, or just to even collect a check, or to even attract or manifest money in your life. You don't have to work hard for money. When you start to change your beliefs and say, I'm aligned with wealth. Wealth flows to me easily and effortlessly on a consistent basis. I don't have to work hard. I just go in the flow. I flow with it and it flows to me. You have to believe that you attract money. Money loves you. You have to have a good relationship with money. When you speak about it, when you talk about it, when you want to attract it, because at the end of the day, money is an energy. And all you're doing is attracting that energy by giving out that energy that you want to receive money all the time. So don't believe that you have to work hard for money, because this is a negative belief about money. Now, another one is, and I know you've heard this, and I've heard this recently, money doesn't grow on trees. Like I said, money is an energy. That's all it is. Trees make paper. Money comes from, paper. You know what I'm saying? Money does grow on trees. The energy is what you want to attract into your life. That's all. You want to attract what money does and what the things that you can do with money just by believing that it flows to you easily. And another thing is, I'll never be smart enough for money. I'll never, wealthy people are smart. They had to make some very smart, intelligent moves to become wealthy. I don't have those intelligence. You have to get away from that. You do not have to be smart to become wealthy. It's all about the moves that you make right now. It's all about really visualizing yourself as wealthy. You can do anything. You can, learn how to make music. You can learn how to make movies. You can learn how to do script writing. You can learn. There's so many different things that you can do that will find a purpose. You'll create a purpose, and you will find your path in life. Just by making one move today can change your next year. Just a little baby step, just by going to school, just to get a quick little degree or a certificate in something, will change the trajectory of your life path. You will start to go in that direction where you're supposed to go. See, a lot of the times, people, they just do not even want to step out their comfort zone. They don't think that they're smart enough. They think that they're just going to work maybe these regular little jobs. Maybe I'll work at McDonald's or work at Walmart, which is nothing wrong with that. Everybody has to start somewhere, right? But you don't want to be a person who looks at longevity at these kind of places, because you're much smarter than that. You're way more intelligent than that, and you can do anything that you want to do in this world. Now, another thing is I don't deserve to be rich. When it comes to becoming wealthy, you have to feel deserving of wealth. You have to feel like, you're just like everybody else. Nobody is better than you. You deserve anything that you desire at the end of the day. Am I right? Yeah. You can't feel like you don't deserve it. And another thing is, when you say things like this, when you say you don't deserve it, if you don't believe it, then you'll never receive it. And you can honestly be a person who says, I do deserve it. I deserve to be rich. But if you don't really truly believe it, then you're sending out mixed signals to the universe. You're sending out signals and broadcasting the signal that, you're contradicting what you just said, because you really don't believe that you deserve to be wealthy. You have to stop saying things like that, because your words are very, very powerful, and you send out a powerful, powerful vibration to the universe. And the universe is only going to reflect that back into your life, what you truly believe. So you have to get rid of these negative beliefs when it comes to money, when it comes to getting rich. And another one is, if I get rich, I will lose it. I won't be able to sustain it, And the first mistake when it comes to becoming wealthy, right, is the word if. When you broadcast the signal as if I get rich out to the universe, you're letting the universe know that you're not rich yet. You're not claiming it right now. So you're only going to get that reflection back into your life as if, and that'll never come in. That's almost like saying, I wish I was wealthy. I hope I get wealthy. You're only going to broadcast that signal out to the universe. And another thing is thinking about wealth that you'll lose it, that you won't be able to sustain it, that you won't be able to keep it, that it'll slip through your fingers. You can't think like that. And that's a scarcity mindset. That's all it is, and you have to feel like, you do, money, you will be rich. You have to feel like that just constantly. You have to know that wealth is about to be in your life no matter what. Every day you have to wake up expecting it to happen any day. You can just expect yourself to go play the lottery and win the lottery today. That can happen to you right now. You have to believe that the possibility is real and that you are destined to become rich. And another thing is, money will change me. I'll change off money. And a lot of the times you might say this. You might say money will change me, but it's only going to make me change in a positive way. But a lot of the times people don't believe that. They believe that money will make them evil. Money will make them, just bogus to everybody, make them, just all of those things. You can't believe that when you become wealthy and when you become rich, that it's going to change you in a negative way. When this wealth is about to come into your life. As soon as it comes into your life, it is only going to amplify who you already are. If you're already a caring person, you're nice, you're generous to people, it's only going to amplify that situation. And if you don't feel like you're any of those things, if you feel like it will make you just bogus to everybody, then you just have to start working on yourself. That's called inner work. You have to do some shadow work. You have to face the dark side of yourself, right? You have to conquer that. And, you can change. All you have to do is just change yourself, your inner world. Once you change your inner world, the outer world is going to change with you. So you definitely have to stop saying things like that and thinking that it's going to change you in a negative way. Just start saying, hey, money's going to change me in a positive way. Money's going to make things great, even though you have to be grateful and joyful right now for everything that you have, right? You have to be already that kind of person and putting that kind of energy out in the universe, because the universe is only going to reflect that energy right back into your life. And another one is spiritual people should not care about money. And I don't want to dig too deep on this. I want to kind of stay on the surface level, because I can really get into these churches and how they tell you don't worry about money and all that. And look how he's living. Look how the pastor's living. I don't want to really scratch too much into that, but there is nobody should ever tell you that you shouldn't care about becoming rich, that you shouldn't care about being wealthy. You can't do anything in this world without money. You can't even drink water without money. You know what I'm saying? You need money to do everything. You need money to survive in this world. You should care about money. You should care about yourself becoming rich so you can create generational wealth for you, your family, your kids, and the next generations that are coming after you. Money is something that you need to have in this world, and you should care about money at the end of the day. And also, another one is feeling guilty about money. A lot of the times people feel like, if they get a lot of money, that they don't want to feel like they're better than everybody else around them just because everybody else around them is broke. Just recently I was around this chick, and she said she would feel guilty. I asked her this question. I said, what would you do if you won $100 million or $1 billion? And then she was like, I don't even want that kind of money. I'm just thinking to myself, you don't want that kind of money. She said, I would feel guilty because everybody else around me doesn't have it. And, I have all this money. And then, but I was saying, I said to her, but you can start a charity. You can feed the homeless. You can just make different decisions. You can do this, that's just what it is. That's a program. That's all it is. It's a bad program when it comes to money. You should never feel guilty or bad about wanting money or having lots of money in your life, because you can do so many great things, right? And another one is feeling jealous of other people, that have money, seeing somebody ride up in something clean, somebody walk up with, just all these jewels. You shouldn't feel jealous. At the end of the day, you can use that as inspiration. You can really channel in. You can channel in and you can feel their energy. You can feel the energy, and you can become that energy. You can get that energy. You can embody that energy. You can embody the financially free version of yourself that has everything. You can look at that and picture yourself riding up in that brand new Porsche or that Lamborghini truck, or having those jewels, or just having that career. You can definitely visualize yourself in that same situation. That's all you have to do, is take them out the equation, visualize yourself there, use it for inspiration. Never be jealous or envious of anybody who already has it, because they manifested that. They had their own journey, they had their own path, just like you have your own journey, you have your own path, right? So you got to get rid of that, because anytime you feel jealous, you are always going to broadcast that signal out to the universe, which will make money scarcity in your life. So you definitely have to get rid of that. And another one is complaining about not having enough. Always complaining about bills. Always complaining about living from check to check. Your words and your thoughts are so powerful, and that is what is creating your reality. The way you think about money, what you say about money, how you feel about money, what you visualize yourself with money or not having money, complaining about not having enough. Because anytime you constantly complain about not having enough money, I'm broke, I'll never have this, I can't afford that. Anytime you do that, you're only going to manifest that in your life. Your words and your thoughts are very, very powerful, and you are always manifesting. You're always manifesting. So you definitely want to be conscious. You want to be conscious about your complaining, and you have to turn it to just being grateful for the money that is in your life right now, for all the currency that's circulating, the energy of money that's circulating in your life right now. Being grateful that you can pay your bills, being grateful that you do have a roof over your head, being grateful that you can manifest, being grateful that you do have a job. Don't complain about your job. Don't complain about nothing, because when you complain, reality, life, the universe is going to give you more things to complain about. You are only broadcasting a signal of lack and scarcity. That's all you're doing. And you cannot speak about lack, because when you speak about all this not happening, like I said, you're bringing it into existence. That's all you're doing. You have to get rid of this. Now, I definitely wanted to let you know that money is already with you. You're not separate from wealth. You're not separate from the energy of money. All you have to do is get rid of the negative beliefs and attract wealth into your life. That's all you have to do. And you'll start to see it coming in once you stop doing all these things that I said in this video, talking about money is the root of all evil, rich people are greedy, all of those different kind of things. I'll never have it. I'm never enough. I'm not smart enough. I don't deserve to be rich, and money will change me to a bad version of myself. All of those different things. Feeling guilty, you'll feel guilty if you have a lot of money in your life. You have to get rid of all of these negative beliefs when it comes to money. You can't complain, none of this stuff, because everything that you do right now is creating your reality. Everything that you say is creating your reality. What you think and feel about yourself, that's what's creating your reality. So you have to literally right now change your mindset, change your beliefs when it comes to money, change the way you feel about money and success and love, just everything in your life. You are in control. You are in the captain's chair. You are the one that's controlling this ship called life. All you have to do is change your inner world, and the outer world will change, even though it doesn't change right away, because reality has a delay. All you have to do is change and know that it is about to change in your life, and you'll start to see things change slowly. Sometimes it may change fast. You never know. But I definitely wanted to deliver this powerful message to you. Thank you so much for tuning into Millionaire Mindset, where everything happens in divine time by divine design, but you are the divine design. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share and comment on this video. I really, really appreciate your support. Till the next video. Peace.